What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another indoor episode. Last time we had one of these, we talked a little bit about buying used bike parts online, and I did a frame reveal. If you haven't seen that video, I'm going to link it right up here for you guys to check out. I know that there's a big part shortage right now, and there's a lot of people that are selling used parts online for really great deals, especially at the end of the season. So make sure you check that video out for tips and tricks on how to buy used parts online. Now, a lot of you may be wondering, why are we doing another indoor video? What's going on? What happened to the 2019 YT Jeffsy 29er Pro Race? And the short reality of the matter is, I ended up selling the frame. A lot of you may actually wonder why. Why did I end up selling the frame? I actually ended up selling the frame and my Fox Factory 36 in that super obnoxious shiny orange color, which I absolutely loved. And the reality of the matter, it's kind of simple. I was just looking for a little bit of a shorter travel bike. That YT Jeffsy was super fun. Probably one of the most poppy and playful bikes that I've ever had. But there's a brand that I owned one of their bikes of that was probably by far one of my absolute favorite bikes that I've ever had. Now, if you follow the channel for a little bit, you'll know that I started out with a 2019 Canyon Strive CF 8.0, did a couple of upgrades to that, sold the frame, got the YT this season, had that for a very short period of time. I probably only had about 1 to 2 months on that bike. And unfortunately, a lot of the rides that I was doing on that bike, I wasn't able to actually capture on the GoPro. And so I don't have a ton of review videos on that bike, but in short, if you're looking for a fun, playful, poppy bike that is just like an insanely amazing value for the amount of bike that you're getting, I would 100% recommend that you go with a YT Jeffsy in really any of their iterations. I think that YT specs bikes super well, especially for the price point that you have. Now you're probably wondering, what frame did I end up going with? Well, if you've seen a couple of my videos on the channel, I've always gone back to a brand called Evil Bikes. If you're not familiar with Evil Bikes, it's a bike company that's out of the Pacific Northwest. I think they're originated in Washington, somewhere up there, Oregon or Washington. And they make very high-end bikes, kind of like that niche group of bike companies, right? But I owned an Evil following, and that's a 120 in the rear travel bike. I had it set up with a Fox Factory 34 at 140 millimeters of travel in the front. And I loved that bike. It pedaled really well, felt really good on the descents, and it just felt like it had a lot more travel than it did. However, that being said, I'm 5'11". When I bought the bike, it was a size large, and I immediately noticed that the size large was too big for me. If you go onto Evil's website, they actually recommend for my height a size medium. So that was kind of one strike against the frame, is that it just felt really big for me. And then the second was actually the fact that I would go through that 120 millimeters of travel so quickly on the bike. I could feel it bottoming out on hits that I didn't feel like it should have bottomed out on. I've been wanting to get back into an Evil for a super long time. When I sold my Canyon and I was looking for a new frame, one of my top choices was an Evil bike. I searched for about 2 months and just could not find one that was within my price point. All right, guys, so here it is. I am so excited about this bike. Ever since this bike came out, I have just been in love with it. This is a 2020 Evil offering. If you're not familiar with the offering, the way that Evil specs this, it's kind of in between the following and the Reckoning, which is more of their enduro type bike. We classify this as their more all-mountain trail bike. It's got 140 millimeters of travel in the rear, given by a RockShox Super Deluxe rear shock. A lot of people will spec these with the push coil shocks, all sorts of cool stuff on it. I'm a big fan of the RockShox rear end, and so I'm just gonna leave it as is. So anyways, I'm really excited about this. There's a couple of changes that I actually wanna make to this bike that I'm really pumped about. The first one that I'm really excited about, and I'll probably do a little bit more of a review on, is I'm actually going to add a Megneg to my RockShox Super Deluxe rear shock. If you're not familiar with what the Megneg is, be on the lookout for that video because I will be doing the install on this frame before I build it up to add in the Megneg. Essentially, it just opens up your negative volume chamber of your shock, giving you just a little bit more tunability on the shock, a little bit more bottom out control. The other thing is that this bike, when I bought it from the guy, he also included a RockShox Lyric Ultimate set to 150 millimeters of travel. If you're familiar with the RockShox line, I'm really excited to get back on a RockShox. I've actually been riding Fox for probably the last 4 years now on most of my bikes. They're all been Fox factory. And I've heard really great things about the new Lyric Ultimate and the Pike Ultimate. Now again, like I said, I'm kind of an aesthetics guy, and so I will be trying to switch the Lyric out for a Pike, and I'd like to get it back down to the stock travel of 140 millimeters in the front, just to keep this bike fairly well balanced. If you watch some videos of the Evil Teen riders, most of them are gonna run this bike with a 140. I just think that for the trails that I'm riding right now, around me and everything like that, it's gonna be the right move for me to be at 140 mil travel. In addition to that, I am super excited. This is really going to be a dream build for me. I'm porting a lot of the parts over from my last build. So of course I'll have the Nuke-Proof Horizon silver stem from my last bike, my Envy M6 carbon bars, Rev grips. I've got a set of Reynolds TR301 carbon rims that'll be going on to this, and then Sram carbon Descendant cranks, Fox transfer dropper post, SDG seat, but probably the bit that I'm most excited about, and I've got to be honest with you guys, I feel very self-conscious about this purchase because it's probably one of the most expensive bike parts that I have ever purchased in my entire life. But I did go with the Sram Axis X01 wireless shifter and derailleur system for this bike. I am so excited to have that. I am a super nerdy tech guy, so anytime I can connect a phone to a piece of my bike, I'm going to want to do it. I am really excited about it. And honestly, one of the things that's always bothered me about Evil is that they don't have internal cable routing. Now, on their new Following and their new Reckoning, they do have internal cable routing for the rear derailleur as well as the rear brake line. But on this offering, you can see that the cables are gonna run right here. I hate seeing cables on the underside of my top tube. And so part of the reason, which is why I feel super self-conscious about the Axis purchase, is that I really wanted to clean up the look of the bike. So that's gonna get rid of about half of the cables on this top portion here. And I'm hoping it's going to be easy to set up. I've never owned one of these before. Honestly, I've actually only seen one and ridden one once in person on my buddy's bike. And it was for maybe 5 minutes in a parking lot, so I have no idea what it actually feels like. But I am so excited. So guys, I just wanted to introduce the new frame. We'll see how long this one sticks around. I tend to keep frames for only a couple of months. However, with this one, I have been looking forward to purchasing the Evil offering ever since it came out, I think in 2018 or 2019. I think it was 2019. So again, super excited to be back on an Evil. I absolutely love the feel of the Delta Link suspension platform. Weight-wise, the Evil offering isn't actually more weight than the Evil Following, but you are getting 20 more millimeters of travel in the rear. C-tube angle comes up to 77 degrees, so it's super steep, great for climbing. Really excited about that. I'm trying to make this a little bit of a lightweight build, which is kind of hard to do sometimes. I am putting Cush core in the tires. We're gonna see how that works out. Just a lot of really niche fun bits are gonna go on this bike, and it is going to be one super cool looking bike. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. It's going to be short, I know, but reality is I'm really excited to build it up. I will be doing another build video for this bike. I just wanted to introduce it to you guys, let you know kind of what's coming up on the channel. So if you like the content that I'm producing, if you're interested in seeing more about this bike and it getting built up with all the little components that I'm putting on it, please hit that subscribe button. Let your friends know about the channel if you haven't already. The more subscribers, the merrier. And also, please don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me, what are your thoughts on the 2020 Evil offering and my component selection? Did I go a little bit overboard this time? Probably did, but I am super excited. So anyways, guys, I hope that you're having a great time. Bike season is starting to come for an end here in Utah. We got first snow on the mountains, so it's a really exciting time to be building a bike because that's really all you can do right now. So lots of videos will be shot in the garage doing that, probably late at night, so we'll work on the lighting. But yeah, guys, super excited about this bike. 2020 Evil offering, bunch of custom build components on it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. But otherwise, we'll catch you in the next video. Stay safe and happy riding, guys.